25 Creepy, Unsolved Mysteries. According to Reddit. Number 25. Has anyone said the Mad Trapper yet? This badass who evaded the RCMP through the frozen tundra for a month survived by eating chunks of himself. His true identity is still unknown, and many of the First Nations believe he was a Wendigo. Albert Johnson, known as the Mad Trapper of Rat River, was a fugitive whose actions eventually sparked off a huge manhunt in the Northwest Territories and Yukon in North Canada. The event became a media circus as Johnson eluded the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. The team sent to take him into custody, which ended after a 150-mile foot chase lasting more than a month and a shootout in which Johnson was fatally wounded on the Eagle River. What the hell? Albert Johnson arrived in Fort McPherson after coming down the Peel River on July 9th, 1931. He was questioned by RCMP Constable Edgar Millen, but provided little information. Millen thought he had a Scandinavian accent, generally kept himself clean-shaven, and seemed to have plenty of money for supplies. After venturing the waterways in a native-built raft to the Mackenzie River Delta, he built a small 8-foot by 10-foot, 2.4 meter by 3 meter cabin on the bank of the Rat River. Johnson had not acquired a trapping license, which was considered odd for someone living in the bush. At that time, many northern native traditional trapping areas were being invaded by outsiders fleeing the Great Depression, and some complaints may have been intended to remove him. Hello, fat man. In December, one of the native trappers complained to the local RCMP detachment in Aklavik that someone was tampering with his traps, tripping them and hanging them on the trees. He identified Johnson as the likely culprit. On December 26, Constable Alfred King and Special Constable Joe Bernard, each of whom had allegations. Seeing smoke coming from the chimney, they approached the hut to talk. Johnson refused to talk to them, however, seeming to not even notice them. King looked into the cabin window, at which point Johnson placed a sack across it. The two constables eventually decided to return to Aklavik and get a search warrant. King and Bernard returned 5 days later with 2 other men. Johnson again refused to talk, and eventually King decided to enforce the warrant and force the door. As soon as he began, Johnson shot him through the wooden door. A brief firefight broke out, and the team managed to return the wounded King to Aklavik, where he eventually recovered. The manhunt. A posse was formed consisting of 9 men, 42 dogs, and, 20 pounds of dynamite. Jesus. Which they intended to use to blast Johnson out of the cabin if necessary. After surrounding the cabin, they thawed the dynamite inside their coats, eventually building a single charge and tossing it into the cabin. After the explosion collapsed the building, the men tried to rush in. Johnson opened fire from a 5-foot dugout beneath the ruins. No one was hit, and after a 15-hour standoff, in negative 40 degrees Celsius weather, the posse retreated to Aklavik for further assistance. By this point, the news had filtered out to the rest of the world via radio. After being delayed because of blizzard conditions, the reinforced posse returned on January 14th to find Johnson had left the cabin, and they struck out after him. Eventually, they caught up with him on January 30th, surrounding him in a thicket. In the ensuing firefight, Johnson shot Constable Edgar Millen through the heart, killing him. Millen was later to have a tributary of the Rat River, Miller Creek, named for him. A memorial is located in that area. Once again, they fell into retreat. The posse continued to grow, enlisting local Inuvialuit and Gwich'in, who were better able to move in the back country. Johnson had clearly decided to leave the Yukon, but the RCMP blocked the only two passes over the Richardson Mountains. That did not stop Johnson, who climbed a 7,000-foot, 2,100-meter peak and once again disappeared. This was only discovered when the airplane saw his tracks on the far side of the mountain. In desperation, the RCMP hired a leading post-war aviator named Wap May of Canadian Airways to help in the hunt by scouting the area from the air. He arrived in the new ski-equipped Belanca monoplane on February 5th. On February 14th, he discovered the tactics Johnson had been using to elude his followers. He noticed a set of footprints leading off the center of the frozen surface of the Eagle River to the bank. Johnson had been following the caribou tracks to the middle of the river, where they walked in order to give them better visibility of approaching predators. Walking in their tracks had hidden his footprints and allowed him to travel quickly on the compacted snow without having to use his snowshoes. He left the trail only at night to make camp on the river bank, which is the track May had spotted. May radioed back his findings, and the RCMP gave chase up the river, eventually being directed to Johnson by February 17th. The pursuit team rounded a bend in the river to find Johnson only a few hundred yards standing in front of them. Johnson attempted to run for the bank, but did not have his snowshoes and could not make it. A firefight broke out in which one RCMP was seriously wounded and Johnson was killed after being shot in the left side of the pelvis at an acute angle. It is believed that the bullet had passed through vital tissues, bowels, and main arteries, which led to his death. May landed the plane, picked up the injured officer, and flew him to help, for which he was credited with saving his life. After Johnson's death, RCMP officials realized that he had traveled over 137 kilometers or 85 miles away from his cabin in less than 3 days, burning approximately 42 MJ or 10,000 kcal a day. 75 years later, in 2007, forensics teams found his tailbone was not actually symmetrical, causing his spine to curve left and right slightly. In addition, one foot was longer than the other. An examination of Johnson's body yielded over $2,000 in both American and Canadian currency, as well as some gold, a pocket compass, a razor, a knife, fish hooks, nails, a dead squirrel, a dead bird, a large quantity of Beecham's pills, and teeth with gold fillings that were believed to be his. During the entire chase, the Mounties had never heard Johnson utter a single word. The only thing they heard was Johnson's laugh after he shot Constable Edgar Millen. To this day, people debate who he was, why he moved to the Arctic, or if he was actually responsible for interfering with the trap lines as alleged. Ugh. Well, there's that. Number 24. The Delfy murders, without a doubt. We aren't any closer to arresting the murderer now than we were back in February when it happened. I get freaked out every time I'm on a hiking trail and come across young teenagers out by themselves, knowing that the killer is still out there somewhere. As a parent myself, I don't understand how another parent can let their children go out traipsing in the woods with them by themselves when 2 little girls were killed less than 45 minutes away weeks before. So for those who aren't aware, the Delfy murders. On February 14th, in 2017, the bodies of Abigail Williams and Liberty German were discovered on an American hiking trail in Delphi, Indiana. After the young girls had disappeared from the same trail the previous day, the murders have received significant media coverage due to the fact that a photo and an audio recording of a man believed to be the girl's murderer was found on the cell phone of German. Despite the photo and audio recording, the suspect being released from custody by the police, and an estimated 18,000 tips being sent to the police, no arrests have been made in the case. And let's go ahead and find that that picture for you guys. A guy was following them. And this was, they got it via Snapchat. God, I'm trying to find a page with these chicks. The Snapchat murders. There you go. So these are the 2 girls that got killed. And here's the dude that was in a video slash, you know, picture via Snapchat. That's what happened. Pretty fucked up. No arrests. Kinda sad. Number 23. Taman Shud, or Somerton Man. Just really bizarre and creepy. It's got an X-Files vibe to it. Too long didn't read? Well-dressed, athletic guy is found dead, leaning against a seawall on an Australian bench. No cause of death is discovered despite autopsy. No ID, no labels on any of his clothing, nothing to identify him, but a scrap of printed paper saying Taman Shud found in his pocket. No one is reported missing. Later, a briefcase is found in a locker at a train station attributed to him, with a few clothes marked T. Keen. No one named that is found missing. When the info about the note is released, one of the locals finds an odd book in the backseat of his car in the area that the man died in. The piece of paper matches the torn out bit in the book, and in the book there is a very odd cipher that no one has been able to decode since, and a phone number. Blood pooling in the body suggests that he didn't die with his head propped up against the wall as he was found. Half-smoked cigarette had found fallen out of his mouth, but if he died in a different position, would be a little odd. Body was embalmed and put on display for 6 months and received a lot of attention, but no one can remember having seen him. No family or anybody knowing him ever have been found. Taman Shud roughly means the end of times. Oh my god. Man. As we continue up to number 22. For many decades, there was only one hospital in the area I grew up. Their closest competition about a half-hour drive away. For about 20 years, they've had a reputation for screw-ups and questionable patient deaths. Both as a patient and being there for family reasons, I've had multiple experiences that made me agree with that reputation. Several years ago, there was a big to-do as someone was murdered there. Their killer got past security after visiting hours, bypassed all medical staff, and then suffocated their victim with a pillow. The body was found with the pillow still over the victim's face, a fact that police reported in an interview on the case. Time passes, and a new report comes up that the victim was strangled with cords in their hospital room. Then, the pillow was placed over their face. A few days after that, and there's a new report. There was no murder. It was an accident, where the bedridden victim somehow found the strength to get up, gather the cords in the room, then pull them tight enough to choke themselves to death. And now there was no mention of the pillow the police noted as being there. The media dropped the story immediately after the last report with no questions or anything about the charges in the report. On top of that, if you try to search online, the local TV station seems to have totally scrubbed their old reports except for one, which has the accident version of the story and nothing else. About 20 years before this, I got to witness a similar change in facts regarding the reports of a fellow who died because it looked bad for his employer that his death was because he did something stupid while looting. I honestly think the hospital used its clout to force the local media to bury their original reports and go with the accident theory so as not to get a worse reputation. I really feel like someone got away with murder in part due to them wanting to protect brand image. Wouldn't be the first time. Won't be the last. Sorry. I'm like thinking about what I should get to eat. Spent all day playing video games. As we continue up to number 21. When I was younger, I lived with my mother in the countryside. We were the only two people ever in the house, and one night after watching TV with me, she went into the kitchen to find two butchered rabbits laid out onto the floor with all the body parts carefully placed in the correct places. Someone must have snuck in through the back door while we were watching TV and placed them there without making a sound. I remember we were staying at my grand's house for about a week after that happened, and we never found out how or why it happened. Someone says, your family may have omitted some details to protect you. I'm going to guess your mother had a failed romance around that time, and the rabbits were a symbol of that. I have to throw the whole house away, says somebody else. Jesus Christ. Hello, Stripes. Nice to see you. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Stripes says, get you some pizza. If I get pizza, it's probably going to be Hungry Howie's. In which case, it's going to be chicken, not pizza. And if I get Domino's, it's probably going to be pasta. Or a sub. I love that Philly cheesesteak sub. Yeah, I'm putting myself in the mood for pizza. It's going to be a creepy pizza night. Oh my god. As we roll up to number 20. I know this is a really shitty description, but in the early 1900s, an entire family was murdered in their farm weeks before the maid complained about mysterious happenings around the house, and footprints were found in the snow leading into the woods. This sounds like the Hinterkaifeck. Oh, it says that right there. It is the Hinterkaifeck murders. Also, 2 days after the date, investigators said that they were murdered neighbors. No, No, sorry, punctuation. Also, 2 days after the date investigators said they were murdered, neighbors said there was smoke coming from the chimney.
Get you some boneless pizza.
Aaron Deers, I love you. That's so sweet. I should get some boneless pizza. I'm gonna have to get some boneless wings. God damn. Yeah, for real. So we need to end this list, because if it's too late, then I won't be able to get it. And you I want to get it. I didn't eat today, man. You guys I should have eaten today. That's pretty stupid of me. Oh boy. This is why my metabolism is so slow. I'm such a pudgy man. Pudgy in the night. Gotta walk on that treadmill while I can before I get that heart attack. Hey, Kyle, don't mess up the atmosphere of this list. The stream thanks Aaron Deers for his contribution. What a badass. As we roll up to number 19. Solved, but really creepy. Oh my god. Every list someone asks a question and somebody in the comment section goes, well, it's not actually that, but oh my god. Oh my god. So here we go. Happy Thanksgiving, young nuggets. I just watched a show about this woman that was kept in a coffin-sized box for 23 years and a day for 7 years. No, for 23 hours a day for 7 years. She was brought out for an hour a day to be raped by a couple. The coffin was kept under a bed. She said it was like 100 degrees in the box. It was hard to breathe in the box. These people put her in the box, put it under a bed, shoved a bunch of crap around it, and then slept on the bed. 23 hours a day in a wooden box under a bed, taken out to be raped. Holy shit. The guy actually took her home to visit her parents a few years ago. They told the parents that they were engaged. The parents took a photo of them, and then she went back to the box. The wife eventually helped her escape. After raping her for 7 years, the wife was jealous of her. Thought the husband was in love with her. What a sick world. Oregon woman, this is in America. A hitchhiker who was imprisoned in a coffin-sized wooden box and repeatedly raped by a couple for 7 years. What the fuck? What the fuck, dude? This person takes you to your parents? And then you make up a story about how you're married? Were you scared of dying? You scared of your parents dying? What can somebody tell you, dude? You're kept in a box and let out for 1 hour. And then they're taking you to your parents' house. What can they tell you? I'm gonna kill you and your parents if you say anything, dude? Oh my god. Holy shit. Dude, let's keep it going. Number 18. The Boy in the Box. He was a 7-year-old kid who was found by a peeping Tom in the 1950s. He was a dead boy in a cardboard box. I've heard of this. Police never identified him, never found who killed him. I saw the story on America's Most Wanted as a kid, and it's haunted me ever since. The Boy in the Box. The Boy in the Box is the name given to an unidentified murder victim, 3 to 7 years old, whose naked, battered body was found in a cardboard box in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in 1957. He was also commonly called America's Unknown Child. His identity has never been discovered, and the case remains open. Ugh. Jesus Christ. What a sick world. In February 1957, the boy's body was wrapped in a plaid blanket, was found in the woods off Saskatchewan Road, or Susquehanna Road, forgive me, just read what I wanted to read there, in Fox Chase, Philadelphia. The naked boy was inside a cardboard box, which had once contained a bassinet of kind sold by J.C. Penney. The boy's hair had been recently cropped, possibly after death, as clumps of hair clung to the body. There were signs of severe malnourishment as well as surgical scars on the ankles and groin and an L-shaped scar under the chin. The body was first discovered by a young man who was checking his muskrat traps. Fearing that the police would confiscate his traps, he did not report what he had found. My nigga, what the fuck? Imagine you out there doing some shit that's illegal for the police, and you see some illegal shit, and you like, God damn, God damn. But if the cops come out here, man, you'd goddamn. In the 1950s, oh my God. A few days later, a college student spotted a rabbit running into the underbrush. Knowing that there were animal traps in the area, he stopped his car to investigate and discovered the body. He too was reluctant to have any contact with the police, which means the police got a bad rap for over fucking 50 years. Oh my God. Cops gonna be crooked to the day we fucking die as a race. Holy shit. What a sad world. Number 17. The identity of the original Night Stalker and whether or not he is still alive. That's a funny, crazy story that we don't have enough time to get into. There is a wide belief that the original Night Stalker, sure as hell I wouldn't know Richard Ramirez. Horrifying indeed. Might as well get into it. The original Night Stalker is a media epithet. Why can't I pronounce that right? Man.
Epithet.
Epithet? That's why. The original Night Stalker is a media epithet for an unidentified serial killer and serial rapist who committed 50 rapes in Northern California during the 1970s and murdered 12 people in South Carolina through 1979, from 1979 through 1986. Other monikers include the East Area Rapist, the Diamond Knot Killer, and since 2003, he has also been referred to as the Golden State Killer. The crimes initially center on the unincorporated areas of Carmichael, Citrus Heights, and Rancho Cordova, all of east of Sacramento, where at least 50 women were raped between June and July, and in 2001, several of the Northern California rapes were linked by DNA to murders in Southern California. All of the DNA-linked assaults occurred in Contra Costa County. By the distinctive modus operandi of the rapist made it very likely that it was the same person. The original Night Stalker has never been apprehended. Several suspects have been cleared through DNA, alibi, or other investigative means and methods, and on June 15th, the FBI and local law enforcement agencies held a news conference to announce a nationwide effort and a $50,000 reward for his capture. They plan to erect electronic billboards nationwide and other forms of exposure for the push. Jesus Christ. That's a lot of rapes, homie. That is a lot of rapes. The Sacramento East Area rapist is believed to have started as a prolific burglar, only later graduating to rape. His initial modus operandi was to stalk middle-class neighborhoods at night, looking for women who lived in single-story homes, generally located near school or creek or other open space that afforded a quick escape. He was spotted on a number of occasions, but sprinted away upon detection. On one occasion, a youth who closely pursued him was shot and seriously wounded. I've seen so many documentaries with this, and this is, yep, he did this shit. Most victims had seen or heard a prowler on their property before the attacks, and many had suffered break-ins. Police believe the offender had a pattern of using extensive reconnaissance on homes in targeted neighborhoods before selecting one for attack. He fucking made these places before he went in there. He marked these places. As part of his surveillance, the stalker was also known to call victims before and after the night of the attack, sometimes hanging up, sometimes pretending to have the wrong number, and sometimes threatening them. In one of these messages, which was recorded by the victim in 1978, the stalker repeats, "Gonna kill you. Gonna kill you." If y'all haven't heard this, Although he originally targeted women either alone in their homes or with children, he later came to prefer attacking couples instead. His standard procedure was to break in, awaken the occupants, threatening or often blindfolding and gagging them with towels taken from the residence that he had carefully cut into strips. The female victim was made to tie up her male companion with bootlaces before being tied up herself. In many cases, these bindings were made so tightly that the victim had no feeling in their hand for hours after they were untied. He would then separate the couple, often stacking dishes on the back of the male, and telling him that if he heard the dishes rattle, he would kill everyone in the house. The intruder at times spent hours in the home, ransacking closets and drawers, eating food in the kitchen, and coming back to utter more threats to the victims, who were often unsure as to whether he was still in the home. In some instances, the victims believed he had left and began to move, but he then jumped from behind the darkness. The perpetrator was believed to use a bicycle to travel to and from his car, and also made extensive use of parks, schoolyards, creeks, beds, and other open spaces that allowed him to stay off the street. What I'm going to say may seem sick to some of you, but you need to open your fucking eyes and wake up to the world that you're fucking in the middle of. You know what I'm talking about? Rape is fucking fucked up, but some hoes like rape, as crazy as it sounds. Some hoes fantasize about being held at gunpoint and fucked and, you know, having no control. They fantasize about that lack of power. And if you don't believe it because, it's something that you can't imagine it, it doesn't mean that other people aren't about that. Please remember that Jeffrey Dahmer, you know, we don't even need to go into half of the serial killers and what they were doing. You know what I mean? As far as like getting a bitch, killing that hoe, fucking the corpse, keeping the corpse, fucking the body parts, eating the flesh. And then when these guys are on trial and they admit to the shit that they're doing, they still have groupies that show up and want to suck that dick, want to ride that pussy, want to, you know what I mean? Ride that pussy. You know what I'm talking about, man. It's just disgusting. It's really fucking scary. It's scary the world we live in, but the crazy part to me is he didn't just want to rape these people. He didn't just want to kill these people. This nigga wanted to put the fear in them, son. You're tied up. You got shit on your back. If you move, I'm gonna kill everybody. And he would just sit there waiting for them to think that he was gone. And when somebody started moving, he would jump out from the darkness. He's just trying to put the fear in them. Jesus Christ, that shit's so wrong. Ugh. Well, number 16. Someone else here posted an episode from the show Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction. The creepiest episode I personally fucking hated was about this one home caretaker / nurse who was caring for an elderly lady who collected dolls. I believe they were porcelain dolls. Well, she sucked... Excuse me. Well, she sucked at caring for the lady because for some reason that I don't remember, she ended up murdering her. So the police are over speaking with the caretaker who seems innocent, and they go over to the doll collection, and the lady picks up one of the dolls, pulls the string back, and the doll says, "Why did you kill my mommy?" What? This was revealed as fact. Another fact story I remember was about a man who had a problem with sleepwalking that would increasingly get worse and worse. His wife was concerned, and his daughter was living in a la-la land and would just play with her dollhouse. One night he just disappears. So the cops are over, his wife is at a loss for where he could be, and the girl is somewhere in the shot playing with her dollhouse, and she knows them, and she shows them a new doll that looked exactly like her dad. Some details might be inaccurate, as it has been a long time since I've watched the show, but it still gives me goosebumps. Maybe you were watching Goosebumps, nigga. Porcelain Dolls. You watching episodes of Goosebumps. Number 15. DB Cooper. It hasn't been proven that he hit the ground. He could fall on us at any time. For those of you who don't know who DB Cooper is, a dude straight up went onto a plane, demanded a shitload of money, and parachuted from that motherfucking plane. And they didn't find this nigga. I mean, it sounds like you think there's more to the story. You think there's more to the story. But that's DB Cooper. Bad motherfucker. DB Cooper is a media sensation, popularly used to refer to the hijacker of a Boeing 727 aircraft in Washington on November 24, 1971. Utilizing the knowledge that was virtually unique to the CIA, he escaped by parachute with over $1 million at current values. A massive search failed to find any trace. After decades of fruitless inquiries, the lead investigators began to publicly suggest Cooper had been killed and all physical evidence had been lost in the wilderness. Although the FBI nonetheless continued to hunt for Cooper until 2016. Belief that Cooper did not survive was bolstered by the fact that none of the money has ever been used. A quantity was found under a riverbank, but its location is not consistent with Cooper dying or losing the ransom in the jump. This combined with the knowledge that the law enforcement involved, a ransom would be effective. A ransom would in effect be 100% bait money. A fact known to the public since the trial following the Lindbergh kidnapping. It makes it less likely that Cooper had any intention of actually using the ransom money. A minority opinion is that a North American of Cooper's apparent sophistication could hardly have expected to spend or fence currency as hot as the ransom would predictably be, and he had carried out a plan dumping the money before disappearing. The FBI no longer has agents on the case, but requests that any potential physical evidence that might emerge related to the parachutes or the ransom money be submitted for analysis. As we continue up this list, we arrive at number 14. This young lady has been missing for over 20 years. Every day on my way to work, I see the flyers her family still puts up begging for information. She was last seen less than 15 minutes away from here, from where I live, and once found the rib bone from a large goat while we were digging out a portion of the basement the house had been added onto. This section of the basement had once been part of the old barn. Still get the heebie-jeebies whenever I dig anywhere on the farm. But that shit ain't got nothing to do with this lady. Kimberly Moreau. 17-year-old Kimberly Moreau was last seen in jail at about midnight on May 6, 1986. In the company of an individual she met earlier that day. She has not been seen since. Foul play is suspected. What a sad and scary situation. Well, a lot of people going missing every day. It's getting pretty creepy. Pretty creepy indeed. Number 13. There may be a serial killer currently targeting young men in their early 20s in the Boston area. Oh shit. They go missing after a night drinking and end up in Charles with a puncture wound from a needle. They just end up in the river. The police haven't released any other details, and this has been going on for years. Here is the link to the news article mentioning the bodies. As to the needle mark, I'm currently going to school in Boston area for criminal justice, and a lot of my professors are Boston police/prosecutors, and they often hint at foul play. And one time in a class, a Boston police officer slipped the mention of a needle mark in most cases. I know that's not the most reliable source of info, but that's all I got. He also mentioned that the police are keeping most of the details from these cases from the public so they don't start a panic that it won't interfere with their investigation. You know what the scariest thing about a lot of this shit is? And I'm going to say it to you real in a way that you need to understand because I'm not lying to you. Sometimes with these serial killers, the only way to get evidence is for them to kill more people. And sometimes the cops will not stop them from killing more people so that they can try to get them. It's like using bait without setting bait up. It's pretty fucked up, dude. Cops do this shit all the time. On a lesser scale, hell yeah, you know what I mean? There are times where cops know people are doing drugs. People know people are selling drugs. They know that they're breaking into places and you know, doing some illegal shit. But sometimes the cops want to catch your ass in the act and get that irrefutable proof. You know what I'm talking about? So they'll let shit happen, as crazy as it sounds. Factual shit. But, this is pretty fucked up. Let's check out these links. Hell no, I ain't trying to connect my Facebook with this shit, bitch. You got me fucked up. Don't nobody care about your corny ass site. God damn. In search for the missing, authorities often turn to Boston's waterways. Oh my god. In most cases, it's nothing suspicious, just an overuse of alcohol, former Boston Police Commissioner Edward F. Davis told the Globe a year ago. I bet you he'd be singing whistling a different tune these days now that he's no longer commissioner. As we travel up this list, we arrive at number 11. When I was growing up, my yard was about 2 acres large, completely flat and treeless, with the house in the middle. One night it snowed overnight, and I went out into the yard the next morning. The freshly fallen snow was pristine, except for one single very large hoofprint in the middle of the yard. Not even part of a pair, just a single large hoofprint. I never understood how it got there. Get the hell over it, you idiot. The monster with 21 faces. Oh, I know this. It's about to get creepier, huh? In the 1980s, over a period of 17 months, Japan was held in the grip of terror by just such a powerful criminal force. The case would turn the country on its head, push police to their limits, dispel the notion that Japan was a completely safe place, and 30 years later remains just as unsolved and mysterious as it has ever been. The story of the notorious monster with 21 faces, an organization led by an enigmatic figure which proved to be just as untouchable and elusive as any supervillain, which led to the police leading an unprecedented manhunt and whirlwind investigation for a crime they would never get to the bottom of, and which has gone on to become one of Japan's most puzzling, unsolved crimes. Well, it's actually a little more scary than all that, baby. The letters to Ezaki Glico. The monster with 21 faces sent its first letter on May 10, 1984, to the giant food company Ezaki Glico, following the kidnapping and escape of Katsuhisa Ezaki, the president of Glico. The letter stated that it had laced the company's confections with potassium cyanide soda. It later threatened to them on store shelves. It later threatened to put them on store shelves. None of these poisoned candies were found. Glico products were removed from stores, resulting in a loss of more than 21 million and the laying off of 450 part-time workers. Meanwhile, the monster with 21 faces also sent letters to the media, taunting the police efforts to capture the culprits behind the scare. An excerpt from one such letter, written in hiragana and with an Osaka dialect, reads, "Dear dumb police officers, don't tell a lie. All crimes begin with a lie, as we say in Japan. Don't you know that? Another taunting letter was sent to Koshin police station, in which it remarked, "Why don't you keep it to yourself? You seem to be at a loss. So why not let us help you? We'll give you a clue. We entered the factory by the front gate. The typewriter we used is pan writer. The plastic container we used was a piece of street garbage. Monster with 21 faces." Y'all out here harassing people making candy. That shit cray. Number 9. Oh my god, that was my phone. In France, we have Gregory Affair. A mother goes and gets her 4-year-old boys at a childminder. You mean a babysitter? Nigga. Once at home, lets him play in the front yard while she does some laundry. 15 minutes later, the boy is missing. Someone calls the boy's uncle and tells him, "I have taken the boy," and he lies dead in the river. The boy is found dead, hands and feet tied at the bottom of the river nearby. The whole investigation is a clusterfuck during which various members of the family are accused at some point, culminating with the boy's father killing one accused member of the family with a shotgun. The case was reopened last year because of additional information. Then the man who was the judge at the time committed suicide. We still don't know who did it. Someone else says right now, the aunt is auditioned by the judge and is prosecuted. Somebody said, or did the judge commit suicide? You know what I'm saying? Man. Number 8. The story on our unresolved mysteries, termed the American Dyatlov Pass. Oh, we wish we had an American Dyatlov Pass. 5 men coming home from a basketball game one night never arrive. They are found months later, hugely off course in the wilderness with no rhyme or reason to what happened to them or how they ended up where they were. Creepy. How did they get here? Man, this has got to be creepypasta. But at worst, I can turn it into a... Jesus Christ. I can turn it into its own video. Now that's what I'm talking about. The American Dyatlov Pass. Bing bong. Hey, don't steal it, people listening. I'm gonna do it. Come on. Let me do it. Holy shit, I need to get food. We gotta go. Come on, I need to get food. Come on. It's Thanksgiving. The disappearance of flight MH370. Y'all probably forgot about that, huh? But that flight disappeared. I hope the fact that you can't see me doesn't show, doesn't end up losing when I'm doing the air quotes with my fingers. You know what I'm talking about? Woo! Let me go ahead and get to 6. This case. A man predicts the police will call him and post proof of surveillance vans outside his home. He's found dead in his burning home. Having died of stab wounds, it's considered a suicide, and there was no media attention. pocket campers beware. So I ran into a major problem with pocket campers camp. I ran out of cotton. Don't become me who runs out of cotton. Keep in mind which villagers give certain materials. Let me just save this bad boy. Nigga, I need cotton right meow. You know what I'm talking about? You're telling me this black pig give me the cotton? That's racist. Can you imagine if all of the black animals were right in the cotton category? There's a gorilla one. Why am I looking at this? It's ruining the game for me. Ruining the game for me. Yeah. There's a hippo one. Ruining the game. That's what Stripes does. She ruins the game. Well, that wasn't really creepy, but it's creepy if, you know, you have to live in a world where people play shit like that. You know what I'm talking about? Number 5. The Russian broadcasting station that plays a buzzing sound, but occasionally a voice reads off Russian names, random letters, and numbers. Yeah, number stations are creepy. Google number stations, guys. Number stations are so scary. Here's one.
Cryptographers and shortwave enthusiasts.
Nigga, you know what? Look, we're not going to do that. Number 4. The Zodiac. It's frustrating and positively baffling. The best suspect, ALA, the DNA doesn't match. Supposedly, the police squandered a chance to arrest him after actually running into and questioning him not far from the cabbie murder. Geniuses of cryptography haven't cracked a couple of the Zodiac ciphers. I haven't seen Zodiac. We should all watch that together. Isn't Robert Downey Jr. in that movie? Yeah. Let's watch the Zodiac, guys. It'll be cute. It's gonna be cute. Yeah, it's gonna be cute. As we roll up to number 3. There was this mystery show where they did 2 fake stories and 1 real one. They would reveal the true story at the end of the show. One episode had a story where a child was afraid of his closet and wouldn't go near it and complain about hearing noises from it to his parents. One day his older brother had a friend locked the boy in the closet, and this kid was kicking and screaming trying to get out, and then he went silent. The brother opened the door and the boy was gone. There was nowhere for him to escape the closet, though. They revealed that this was the true story for the episode. The show was beyond belief, fact, or fiction. Do I need to download this damn show? Everybody talk about this show, man. Seemed pretty cute. Torrent. I mean, do I need to go look for this show somewhere? The fuck? Oh my God! Stop knocking your phone on the goddamn ground. All right, look, you're looking for maybe the pirate. No, look, I'm just. Not that I would do that. I'm just saying beyond belief. Got a season 1 in this bitch and a season 2, but I don't trust that guy. What is this? 3? Beyond belief 3. Boobs beyond belief. Oh my God. Boobs beyond belief. That's different than what I'm thinking. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's different with what I'm thinking. This one is all 4 seasons though. Not that I would ever do that. You know what I'm talking about? Whoa. Not that I would do that. Cause I don't do things like download things illegally. Boobs beyond belief. Boobs beyond belief. Maybe I just need to, let me just check out what's going on there. Got some images here. Come on. Let's see here. Nah, I can believe those boobs. Not beyond belief for me, buddy. You'd have to try a little bit harder. No, thank you. Oh boy. Beyond Belief is not narrated by no Jonathan Frakes. Commander Riker, what have you done? I feel like I was the only person who didn't get to watch this show because I was busy being a kid back then. You know what I'm talking about? Busy being a kid, getting on the internet for the first time. America Online. Ooh, with that dial-up internet connection. Talk about creepy. Ain't nothing scarier than listening through some dial-up connection. Whoa. Guys, I know this list isn't exactly what you wanted it to turn out to be, so again, look out for this American Dyatlov Pass thing that I'm going to read. 5 young men abandon a warm, safe car and disappear into the night. Oh my god. So as we arrive at number 2, 9-year-old girl packs a backpack and leaves her home between midnight and 5 a.m. during a storm. I've heard this one. The scariest part about this girl is that she don't have a history for bullshit like this. You know what I mean? She got all her shit together, so to speak. Several motorists see her along a highway. There is evidence of her in a nearby barn. Her backpack is found over a year later wrapped in a plastic, buried at a construction site. She's never been found.
Here, have some manias.
Thank you, fat man. But my favorite is that it's D.B. Cooper, and you named him D.P. Cooper. Donkey Punch Cooper. I wonder who does have boobs beyond belief. If you think that's you, let me know. Wow. I'm serious though, this little girl is pretty fucked up. Oh, she was a black girl too. Damn. Asha Degree. Do not make a joke, boy. Is a girl from Shelby, North Carolina. In the early morning hours of February 14th, 2000, for reasons unknown, she packed her book bag, left her family home north of the city, and began walking along a nearby Carolina highway despite heavy rain and wind. Several passing motorists saw her. When one turned around at 1.3 miles from her home and began to approach her, she left the roadside and ran into a wooded area. In the morning, her parents discovered her absence, and no one has seen her since. An intensive search that began that day led to the location of some of her personal effects near where she had last been seen. A year and a half later, her book bag, still packed, was unearthed from a construction site along Highway 18 north of Shelby. This girl been missing for 17 years at this point. A billboard now stands appealing for help finding her. Her family now hosts an annual walk through their home, or walk from their home to the billboard to draw attention to the cause. While the circumstances of Degree's disappearance at first seemed to suggest she was running away from home, investigators could not find a clear reason she might have done so, and she was younger than most children who do so. They, along with a blogger who has tried to solve the case, have speculated that she might have been abducted instead. The case has drawn national media attention, and in 2015, the FBI joined the state and county authorities in a reopened investigation, offering a reward or information that could help the case. Why does Emmy say hi? Where is Emmy? Is she just talking to you, I'm guessing? Intriguing. As we finish this list, we arrive at number 1. Michelle Miscavige. She is the wife of the leader of Scientology's David Miscavige. She went missing in 2007 and hasn't been seen in public since. There is a lot of speculation that she may be dead or held captive at their compounds. Speculation. Someone says it baffles me that authorities won't get involved. It shouldn't baffle you because that's what true power is. Well, I don't know. I hope you guys are all well and that things have been making sense. It's ridiculous that there isn't something more clear that we can do to fight, you know, them trying to kill net neutrality. Because it seems as though there's essentially nothing that we can do. And even though in America, that's typically the way that it is, even though that's typically the way that it is. In America, we usually maintain the illusion that, you know, we have a say in what's going on. You know, we can vote to elect our leaders, and the leaders won't just be puppets, you know. But this is straight up something that it appears we do not have control over. And are we to take it laying down? You know? Are we so docile? Have we been fucking tamed in a way where, you know, we don't want to rustle any feathers. We don't want to challenge our fucking freedom being taken away here. Let me get some WTF. I was on Watch People Die earlier, and even I couldn't fucking deal with that. There was something on Watch People Die earlier today that is only for the dankest motherfuckers in the world. You feel me? What the fuck? Are you choking this deer? What are they doing? Man, cops. Jeez. What? You know it's in Bing Bong Land. You know it. Oh my God. Safety regulations. Oh my God. What a disgusting fucking decal for the car. 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink. This is disgusting. What is wrong with people? Kids going back home from school. Holy shit. Talk about people going missing. Oh my god, where is this? Russia? In Yakutsk. Where is Yakutsk? Well, somebody got a carpeted bathroom, y'all. Oh yeah. Carpeted bathroom, baby. Oh, it's the guy who picks up the shark. Because he's on that bullshit. Stripe says, Kyle, what about food? Damn, you right, girl. Damn, you right, girl. What if I just go out to get Taco Bell instead? Would I spend less? Would I spend more? Should I be inviting pizza men to my door? You people had enough? Give me some more. You people want to watch? Yeah, give me some more. Hey, split with a weed. Give me some more. I know y'all niggas need that. Give me some more. Even though we get money, give me some more. With the cars and the big cribs. Everybody spread love. If you want to let me hear say. You know what pisses me off about Domino's? Domino's ain't trying to hit a nigga with some of them deals the way that Pizza Hut be hitting them with them deals. Give me them deals, baby. Domino's, you ain't gotta be a hoe, baby. Wait a minute.
What's a sexy thing ruined by a period?
Oh, I get it. That's kind of clever. What's 6.9? A sexy thing ruined by a period. Hey, look, it depends on your fetish. Some people, you know, it would only enhance it. Like we were talking about the other night. Imagine like, oh boy, I don't need to say it again. Because I remember when I said it for the first time. Sean Watson, it was like, why, Kyle? Oh boy, a sexy thing ruined by a period. Don't think too hard about that one, guys. Don't think too hard about it. I don't know. I feel like if I order from Pizza Hut, from Domino's now, because they're so close to closing, they're going to be on that bullshit for the order. Do you get what I'm saying? I think I may need to just go out to fucking Taco Bell. Or should I do that? Should I just hang my corny ass out here? Hey, wait till tomorrow. What do I do? What do I do? Bye. I love you guys. And I need to record a lot of shit tomorrow for you guys. You guys deserve it. I don't know. Oh, the guy from yesterday's list with the laundry basket. Very correct, fat man. Let's check it out. Let's click the main screen open, and I made a tab called We'll See, motherfucker. So, whoa, why'd you go back? chill. Wonderbread says, how about that cute video game you started playing yesterday, Kyle? A Hat in Time. Yeah, I'll definitely try to make that happen. They can't fuck up. Give me a second. Give me a second. It says the store is closed. They got my ass anyway. Punk ass motherfuckers. But is Hungry Howie's closed though? You see what I'm talking about? Uh-oh. Oh, it's Thanksgiving, dude. Nah, it says they open until 11. It says they're open until 11. You son of a bitch. All the stores are closed. But this means I have no guarantee that Taco Bell is even open. We'll figure this out later, I suppose. But let's figure out Laundry Basket guy. L-O-N-G-Y lost her. Okay. So, a pic of his first plate. What happened to the laundry basket? There was no laundry basket. See? See? I said we'll see, motherfuckers, because I didn't believe it. And here it is. If anybody's playing Pocket Camp, go ahead and let me know. Wait a minute. Today, those big oldie bastards. I'm glad you guys like Pocket Camp though. I don't have any cheese, but I think I'm gonna end up having to put on some rice. I'll figure it out. Guys, I had an interesting time talking to Faith and Hannah and two other guys that we were playing Call of Duty with today. Expect me to read and edit something tomorrow that I've been meaning to get up, and expect some of that A Hat in Time Let's Play, because that's gonna be pretty rad. As a matter of fact, you guys might be expecting it soon. Do you think I should stream that, or do you think I should, like, I should probably stream it. Sean Watson says, here's some disturbing news. My cousin was riding a motorcycle with her husband and wrecked. When, Sean? Lexeus, it's nice to see you. Guys, have a wonderful night. You'll catch me again soon. I'm about to go figure some shit out. Later. Love you. Holy shit, I reached my goal up there. Wow. You guys are so sexual. You know I can't get enough of you. Expect an extra list tomorrow. You know, around lunchtime or something. Love you. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. And holy shit about Sean Watson. Well, thank you, Sigmund. That's so sweet. I appreciate you, man. You're badass. I'm glad I didn't end right there. Thank you, Sigmund. I'm really sorry to hear that, Sean, but Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Decapitated, dude, and they both died. Wow. Motorcycling, dude. Motorcycling. Shit. I will catch you guys later. Love you. Take it easy. Wonder where Emmy is.